like sunshine and moonlight, like warm and bright, like pillows and pavement, like an accident and what's meant. We're like two different species, still the same. We're like Jekyll and Hyde, like Batman and Bruce.
Hi guys, this video is so long overdue. Our second opinion appointment was last Tuesday, so a week ago now. I filmed a video a few days after the appointment, but I ended up rambling for so long and I wasn't making any sense. My mind, I think, that soon after the appointment was still a bit all over the place. And since then I've just been so busy. It's been really hot. I've just been really tired. Last weekend I did something weird to my neck. I slept on it funny, woke up and couldn't move my head either way. Each day it's been getting better. So I haven't seen anyone, a chiro or osteo or anything yet, but it's been getting better, which is good. But I've had a few little things like that. Dinner at my dad's last night. So yes, I've just been struggling to find a moment outside of working hours to film. There are kids playing in the street, so you'll probably hear screaming. But anyway, I wasn't going to film tonight because I'm so tired, but I need to. I'm sorry it's been so delayed. So the reason for the second opinion, if you haven't been following our journey, is because we've had 6 pregnancy losses. The cause is unknown. There are a few different possibilities. The OB I've been with for the past almost 3 years has been saying that it's most likely bad luck. We know that one of our miscarriages was a chromosomal abnormality in the embryo, which chromosomal abnormalities in the embryos is the most common cause, or one of the most common causes of miscarriage. So his opinion was that it's just been bad luck and suggested we do IVF with PGS testing for our next cycle. We've done 2 IVF cycles, both have failed. We haven't created many embryos that have lasted or made it to day 5 or 6. So his suggestion for us was to go to another clinic to do the PGS testing, because they don't do the PGS testing there. I'm going to have to talk really quickly because the sun's going down. So that was one possibility, that it was just bad luck. The other possibility is that there's something else going on. We've had so many tests done, a lot of autoimmune tests, and all have come back normal except for one, the ANA, anti-nuclear antibodies test, which can be an indicator for an autoimmune disease. My OB that we've been with for the past few years told us that there can be a lot of people who have a positive ANA and it mean nothing. So it doesn't necessarily indicate anything. You don't have any symptoms. Everything else, all of the other autoimmune tests came back normal. So the OB that we've been seeing doesn't think that there's anything in the positive ANA result that I received, which is why we kind of wanted to seek a second opinion. So I had that appointment last Tuesday on the 4th. We didn't really, I don't know what I was hoping to hear out of that appointment. I don't know, I think we were excited to get some more insight and hear what another medical professional had to say and what their opinion was. To cut a long story short, the OB that we saw, she was lovely enough. She looked through our paperwork. I told her our history. Her belief is that it's been bad luck as well. She doesn't think that there's anything in the positive ANA. So to have this new OB have the same opinion as our old OB was a little bit, I don't know, we didn't really, I guess it's a good thing, but it is a hard thing to come to terms with the fact that it's just been bad luck and that there's no real, when you feel like there surely must be something going on, to just be told it's been bad luck is, it's It's a hard pill to swallow. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to have anything wrong with me. I don't want to have an autoimmune issue. But if there is something going on, and if that's what I do have, I want to know about it and I want to be treated for it, just to avoid this happening again and for my own health as well. So, I think to not really get any, I don't know what answers we were expecting to get, but to not really have any further insight or any further suggestions was very disappointing. We finished the appointment feeling frustrated with the whole situation, lost. She had suggested we do IVF with PGS testing and said that would be our best option moving forward. So our original plan was to try naturally for a couple of months and see what happens, and if we do become pregnant, then take those medications that I mentioned earlier, and hopefully they make all the difference. That was the plan originally, but this OB wasn't very encouraging of us trying on our own, and kind of implied that given our history, it could take a very long time, could take many, many, many more miscarriages until we get lucky. So no real why. I said, could it be egg quality? She said it could be. I said, is there anything you can do to improve your egg quality? She said no, which I know is not 100% accurate, and I know there are things that you can take to improve egg quality. Eat and take diet and supplements. She also said that the protocol that she would put me on would be the same as I've done in the past, same medication, same dosages. She'd like to get 15 eggs maximum. So that also made me very anxious and doubted the whole situation. My last 2 IVF cycles, my first one I got 12 eggs retrieved, of which 9 were mature, and my second IVF cycle I got 11 retrieved, of which 8 were mature. So to get 15, it's not that dramatically different in numbers. I, of course, know that avoiding OHSS at all costs is important. I don't know, I just don't feel confident, and Tim doesn't either, in jumping into another cycle, which is going to be double the cost because of PGS testing on the embryos. It's a huge expense, a huge gamble, and with not making many changes at all. It's scary trying another cycle with the same medication, same protocol, everything like that, and not really changing anything. The one thing that would be different is the lab, and apparently the change of lab can be very beneficial for couples. She said she sees a lot of success from couples who have switched clinics, done multiple rounds of IVF at one clinic and switched to another and had success. And she said that it's quite common for the lab to be the reason for success. A lot of labs culture their embryos differently, use different culturing solutions. I don't know the correct terms, but obviously it's possible for some embryos to do better in different labs than others. So I don't know. I mean, cycles can vary significantly from one month to another. Women can be on the same medication, same dosages, and have a completely different outcome one month compared to the other. So it's hard to know. There's so many different variables involved. So it's all a bit overwhelming. It's just hard to know what the right thing to do is, what the right decision to make. We're not in a rush to jump into another IVF cycle. I still think that there might be something in the ANA, and I'd be curious to get a third opinion. I've made an appointment to see a rheumatologist just to get their opinion, because obviously autoimmune issues as their specialty, and they might have more of an idea than the OBs. So I've booked an appointment to see a rheumatologist next month, and we've also booked an appointment to see another fertility specialist who's meant to be one of the best. She's at a different IVF clinic, so we'll compare the two clinics and decide which one we'd like to go with. I think we'll wait a couple of months, try on our own, and if nothing happens, then we'll probably do IVF in around April, May. So yeah, to sum it up, the second opinion didn't go as well as we'd hoped, but again, I don't really know what we were expecting. It did end very abruptly as well. She kind of got up after we'd been chatting, walked out into the hallway to see if one of the IVF nurses or the coordinator was available. She kind of got up without asking us if there was anything else we had questions for, and we followed her out into the hallway, and she told us to have a seat in the waiting room. So we did, and the OB came into the waiting room, and I assumed she was going to come up to us and say, you know, it's really lovely to meet you both, the nurse won't be far away. But she didn't say anything, and she just called in the next patient. So that really made us feel like we were just another number she was ticking off her list. There was no real... It was just very odd. We were called in by the nurse, and she basically just wanted to know when we were going to be starting, and, you know, gave us the costs, and we felt a bit like they were rushing us. You know, the whole reason for the appointment was just to get a second opinion, and I think it was assumed that we were wanting to do IVF straight away, when that's not what we said at all. So I don't know, it's all about making money maybe. So yeah, we just kind of left the appointment not really knowing what we were going to be doing next, and felt even more lost than we did before, really. I did burst into tears when we got in the car, just because I felt so helpless about the whole situation, and it's just so frustrating. It's so out of your control, and every IVF cycle is such a gamble. No one knows how it's going to turn out. No one knows how you're going to respond or what the outcome's going to be. It's trial and error, and it's such a lot of money to gamble. Of course, it's worth it, and if you don't try, you'll never know. So, of course, we're willing to try, but we just want to make sure we're doing everything possible. We're ticking all the boxes before we do another IVF cycle. We just want to make sure we're doing everything right and checking everything before we jump into another cycle, regardless of if two of the OBs we've seen have the same opinion. Of course, we do take their opinion on board, and, you know, hopefully they are right in that it's just been a numbers game and bad luck. I guess time will tell, but it's a new year and we're trying to stay positive and hopeful. Anyways, I think that's it for now. I hope everyone's year is going well so far. Take care of yourselves, love and baby dust, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
But when we are apart, I bleed and I starve, and I miss your sweet, sweet touch. Is it when you are away, I keep wishing that you stay. I can't live without you by my side.